Have you ever wondered why some older adults live with such peace while others seem exhausted even in their own homes? The interesting thing is that what creates this difference is not money, health, or circumstances. It is the people they allow to stay close to them. When we are young, we can endure heavy relationships. But once you have passed more than half of your life, you will realize that even one conversation with the wrong person can disturb your mind for the entire day. Perhaps you have felt that before. It is a beautiful morning and your mood is light and comfortable. Then suddenly a phone call from an acquaintance pulls your spirit down. You hang up and wonder why you feel so drained. Or you meet an old friend, and instead of feeling happy, you leave with a heaviness you cannot explain. The truth is very clear. It is not because you have changed. It is because you are sitting too close to people who no longer belong to your journey. As you enter older age, peace becomes your most precious asset. It cannot be bought with money, and it cannot be taken from someone else. It is protected by your choices, especially the choice of who you allow to appear in your life. In this video, we will explore 8 types of people you should stay far away from if you want to enjoy a happy and wise older age. This is not a list to judge who is good or bad. This is a guide to help you protect your energy, safeguard your inner calm, and rediscover the joy within your own life. Let us begin. Type number 1, the chronic complainer. As you grow older, you will notice that your mind becomes more sensitive to negativity. One unpleasant remark can follow you the entire day. One uncomfortable conversation can lower your mood before you even realize it. And if there is one type of person who drains your peace the fastest, it is the person who complains about everything. They may appear as a longtime friend, a familiar neighbor, or even a family member. No matter their role, their constant complaints find their way into your mind very quickly. Imagine you go to the park one day. You sit under a large tree to enjoy the peaceful air you have been looking forward to all week. You relax your body, take a deep breath, and feel the comfort spreading through every cell. But just a few minutes later, someone you know walks over. They look around and immediately start commenting. The sun is too bright, the wind is too cold, the children are too noisy, and the flowers do not look as beautiful as last year. In just a short moment, your calmness disappears, as if someone pulled the ground out from under your feet. The important point is that people like this do not only bring temporary dissatisfaction, they create a negative atmosphere that gradually teaches your mind to adopt the same gloomy view without you noticing it. Modern psychology shows that frequent exposure to negativity can increase stress levels and make older adults feel mentally exhausted. A chronic complainer is like a gray cloud. They do not create storms, but they dim the sky around you until you can no longer see the light that you should have been able to see. Stoic philosophy teaches us that what disturbs us is not the event itself, but the way we interpret it. When you stay close to someone who views life through a dark lens, you can easily be pulled into that same pattern of thinking. That is why the best way to protect your peace is to keep a safe distance. If you must interact, gently shift the topic or end the conversation at the right moment. That is not being uncaring. It is choosing to protect your own mental well-being. Type number 2, the unstoppable gossiper. In older age, everyone hopes for lighthearted conversations where we can sit with old friends and share memories without worry. Yet there is one type of person who can make these gatherings heavy within just a few minutes. It is the person who loves to talk about the lives of others. They see the lives around them as an open book and believe they have the right to retell every detail, even when those details were never theirs to share. You may have experienced this before. It is a reunion with friends after months apart. Everyone is laughing and talking, sharing stories about family and health. Suddenly, someone starts talking about a friend who is not present. They talk about that person's family issues, finances, difficulties, and even things that should only be known by the person involved. Immediately, the atmosphere changes, the joy disappears, people look at one another feeling uncomfortable, and so do you. You wonder whether you will become their next topic once you are not in the room. Gossip always creates distrust. It breaks the sense of safety within relationships, especially for older adults who deeply value emotional security. A person who loves to gossip does not only bring negative information, they plant seeds of uneasiness in your mind. Psychology explains that many people gossip to fill an empty space inside themselves. They do not know how to face their own lives, so they seek pleasure in discussing the lives of others. Stoic philosophy reminds us to keep our minds away from shallow conversations. Anything that does not help us grow, does not help us understand life more clearly, and does not bring peace should not be taken in. When you allow others to pour irrelevant stories into your mind, you are allowing them to take away the inner calm you spent a lifetime building. The best way to protect yourself is to be polite yet firm. When someone begins to speak badly about another person, you can gently redirect the conversation or say that you prefer not to talk about someone who is not present. You do not need to argue or react strongly. Sometimes a single calm sentence is enough for them to understand that you are not someone who accepts such conversations. Type number 3, the manipulator. There are times when you do not understand why you agreed to something your rational mind did not truly want. You may think you agreed out of love, responsibility, or circumstance, but when you look back, you realize you were guided very subtly. A manipulator never forces you to do something with direct commands. They do it through emotion. They make you feel guilty. They make you believe you are the only one who can help. Or they make you fear that if you refuse, the relationship between you and them will be damaged. Imagine you receive a phone call in the evening. On the other end of the line, your grandchild is crying while describing something very serious. They say they have tried everything and no one can help except you. They bring up family bonds, remind you of the times you supported them before, and then they sigh as if the whole world is against them. Before you have time to think clearly, your heart moves ahead of your reason. You feel that if you do not help, you will seem uncaring. That is the moment when a manipulator gains their advantage. The danger lies in the fact that this type of person often targets the softest parts of older adults. You have a kind heart, you are used to helping family, and you always believe that if you can share the burden, you should. But not everyone deserves that sacrifice. Some people do not look for solutions to their problems. They only look for someone to carry the weight for them. Stoic philosophy reminds us that kindness only has value when it does not harm your inner peace. You are not obligated to respond to every plea for help, especially when it causes you sleepless nights, worry, or unwise decisions. When you find yourself being pushed into a rushed choice, pause. One simple sentence such as "I need time to think" is enough to help you regain control. Staying calm, holding your boundaries, and keeping your clarity is how you free yourself from a manipulator's influence. And that is also how you protect the peaceful life you deserve in your older years. Type number 4, the obsessive controller. There are moments when you simply want to live a quiet life and freely choose what suits your age. Yet every time you make a small decision, someone appears and questions everything. From what you should eat, what you should buy, where you should go, to whether you should meet someone or how you spend your time, they want to review and adjust it all. At first, you may think they only want the best for you, but over time, that concern slowly becomes pressure, making you feel as if your private life no longer belongs to you. Imagine you decide to take an afternoon walk to enjoy fresh air. When you mention it, that person immediately reacts with a list of worries. They describe risks you have never considered. They ask what you have prepared, what you have thought about, and then conclude that it is better for you to stay home. It is not because they want you to be happier. It is because they want you to follow the pattern that makes them feel safe. Every time something happens, no matter how small, they always try to prove that if you had listened to them, things would have been different. This behavior does not always come from bad intentions. Many times it comes from their own fear of losing control. They worry about you, but instead of learning to trust, they choose to confine you so they can feel secure. The problem is that their sense of security comes at the cost of your freedom, and eventually you realize you are living a life where every decision needs their approval before you can act. Stoic philosophy reminds us that freedom begins with recognizing what belongs to us and what does not. You cannot change the fear inside another person, but you can change how much influence they have over your life. When someone tries to control you through worry and pressure, you have the right to stand firm in your calmness and say that you want to decide for yourself. Gentle firmness is always the most effective approach. When you set boundaries without anger, when you explain without defending yourself, And when you make your own choices without seeking anyone's approval, you are reclaiming the right to live your own life. That is the kind of freedom your older years truly deserve. Type number 5, the attention seeker. In older age, one of the most precious things is simply being able to sit and talk with people who truly know how to listen. Yet there is a type of person who turns every conversation into their own personal performance. This is the person who always wants to be the center of attention. You may talk about your health, your grandchildren, your daily life, or the challenges you are facing. However, after just a few sentences, the conversation suddenly shifts back to them. They talk about their experiences, their feelings, and their achievements. You become an unwilling audience while they take over the entire stage. Imagine attending a reunion with old friends. Everyone is sharing memories, asking about one another's health, and enjoying the moment. When it comes to your turn to speak, someone immediately interrupts and begins talking about their latest trip, their illness, or whatever they believe is more important. You barely begin before they take over. Your time is no longer yours. You feel yourself shrinking, unheard, and even overlooked in the very space you thought you belonged to. Psychology calls these individuals attention seekers. They see every conversation as an opportunity to feed their ego. The greater danger is that when you stay around them too long, you begin to feel your own value fade. You start speaking less, sharing less, and withdrawing because you know the person in front of you is not truly listening. Stoic philosophy teaches us that a healthy relationship always carries balance. The speaker and the listener are equally important. Listening is a form of respect, and when someone does not give you that respect, they do not deserve too much presence in your life. The best way to handle an attention seeker is to stay calm, yet assertive. When they dominate the conversation, you can reclaim your space by clearly stating that you have something you want to share. If they still do not change, you can limit the time you spend with them. This is not selfish. It is how you protect your dignity and emotional well-being. Type number 6, the opportunist. You will meet many people who appear only when your sky is clear. They smile at you when everything is smooth, when you are healthy, when you are able to help others, and when you have enough energy to give. But when storms arrive, when you grow weaker or need someone to hold your hand, they vanish into silence. These are opportunists, people who come to you only when it benefits them. Imagine your life as a grand feast. When the cake is brought out, they show up with big smiles, rushing to sit at the table to enjoy the sweetest part. But when the feast ends and it is time to clean up, when you are tired and need someone to help, they quietly slip away as if they were never there. Opportunists behave this way so naturally that sometimes you do not even realize how many times you have been used. Psychology shows that these individuals always view relationships through the lens of personal gain. They do not care about emotional connection or loyalty. What they care about is what they can receive from you. Their presence comes and goes depending on whether you still provide something beneficial to them. This becomes especially clear as you age. When your health declines and you are no longer able to help as much as before, they gradually create distance. It is not because they are too busy, it is because you no longer fit into their calculations. Aristotle's philosophy draws a clear distinction between friendships based on usefulness and friendships based on virtue. The first type exists only while the benefit remains. Once that benefit disappears, the relationship dissolves as well. This is why you should not allow an opportunist to walk too deeply into your life. You deserve people who care about who you are, not what you provide. To protect yourself, you need to observe and recognize repeating patterns. If someone appears only when they need something, if you are always the one giving while rarely receiving, then you are maintaining an unhealthy relationship. Keep your distance and direct your energy toward those who value your presence. When you choose the right people to stay close to, your older years will feel much lighter and warmer. Type number 7, the secret envious. Not everyone who smiles at you is truly happy for you. Some people stand beside you, offer congratulations, and act friendly. Yet behind their eyes is a feeling you cannot fully grasp. They do not openly show annoyance, and they do not say anything that directly hurts you. However, you always sense something incomplete in the way they respond to your joy. This is the secretly envious person, someone who quietly drains your confidence without you realizing it. Imagine you have just shared a small achievement. It may be an improvement in your health, an enjoyable trip, or simply a day when you felt better than usual. They smile, but their smile lacks warmth. They praise you, but their tone sounds as if they are hiding something. And only a few seconds later, they quickly change the subject or begin telling a story of their own to overshadow yours. You are not deeply hurt, but you feel a slight tightness inside. That feeling is the mark of hidden envy. Psychology explains that secretly envious people are often dissatisfied with their own lives. They see other people's happiness as a reminder of what they lack. Instead of improving themselves, they choose to compare and quietly wish you were not too happy. They do not attack you with direct words or actions. They express it through small things such as a glance, a half compliment, half criticism, or an uncomfortable silence. Stoic philosophy teaches that happiness is not found in trying to be better than others. It lies in knowing that what you have is enough. Secretly envious people live the opposite way, and if you stay around them too long, you may begin to feel that you should shrink your joy to keep them comfortable. This leads you to unconsciously suppress your rightful happiness. The wisest way to deal with a secretly envious person is not immediate distance. It is selective sharing. You do not have to tell them every joy you have. At the same time, you can remain kind without letting their emotions influence your mood. When you understand that envy comes from their own insecurity, you will no longer let it affect your sense of worth. And the final type of person is the energy vampire. Some people do not intentionally hurt you, yet every time you interact with them, you feel as if you have just stepped out of a battle. They do not shout, they do not criticize, and they do not do anything that directly harms you. However, their presence feels like a quiet force that slowly drains your energy. These are the people known as energy vampires. They do not take your blood. They take the peace and vitality inside your spirit. You have likely experienced this before. You meet someone just to exchange a few polite words, but the more you talk, the heavier your head feels, the more your heart sinks, and when the conversation ends, you only want to sit down and breathe. You do not understand what just happened because they did not say anything especially negative. But that is exactly the nature of an energy vampire. They bring endless stories, constant worries and problems with no resolution. They make you carry emotional weight that never belonged to you. Older adults are especially vulnerable to this type of person because our emotional energy is no longer as abundant as before. The body needs more time to recover from emotional strain, and the mind becomes more easily fatigued. When you spend too much time with someone who constantly complains, who always has trouble, or who repeatedly demands your attention and time, you begin to feel that you no longer have enough strength left to care for yourself. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that we must guard our inner space as if it were a precious garden. You cannot allow just anyone to walk in and trample the peaceful flowers you spent a lifetime cultivating. Protecting yourself from an energy vampire does not require harsh rejection. Instead, you can build a soft but steady boundary. You can listen a little without allowing yourself to be pulled into their story. You can end the conversation at the right moment without feeling guilty. You can choose to spend your time with people who bring lightness and make you feel stronger. The most important thing is to understand that your energy is truly valuable. You have spent a lifetime learning to be calm, patient, and resilient. Therefore, do not let anyone take that away. You have the right to choose who is allowed to enter your mental space. And when you make that choice wisely, your older years will be filled with light and peace. Looking back at the 8 types of people we have explored together, you will see that older age is not defined only by health or living conditions. It is shaped by the people you choose to keep close. Every relationship carries a kind of energy. Some people make you feel more peaceful, some help you become stronger. But there are also people who make you tired, confused, and stripped of the calm you deserve after a lifetime of effort. Stoic philosophy teaches that we cannot control others, but we can choose who is allowed to enter our inner world. When you choose to walk away from harmful relationships, you give yourself a priceless gift. It is the right to live gently, the right to protect your energy, and the right to enjoy your later years in the way you wish. You do not need to cut ties with everyone. You simply choose the appropriate distance for each person. Even a small adjustment can open the door to great peace. Your life has already been through enough storms. The years ahead deserve to be surrounded by kindness and sincerity. Choose the people who make you feel at ease. Keep close those who know how to listen, who know how to respect you, and who know how to lift you up. If you have watched until this point, leave a reminder for yourself by commenting, "I choose peace." Do not forget to press like to help spread this message, and please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the next lessons on Stoic philosophy. Thank you for spending your time here. I wish you continued calmness in your mind and many more years filled with clarity and self-mastery. You deserve a peaceful older age, and that peace begins with choosing the right people.